New at noon, Crimea is one step closer to being a part of Russia after President Vladimir Putin signed a controversial agreement in Moscow. Now, President Obama calling for an emergency meeting to respond. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer has the very latest.
With a sweep of his pen, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a treaty annexing Crimea, escalating tensions between the United States and Russia to the highest level since the Cold War. Traveling in Poland to meet with our allies, Vice President Joe Biden called the move
the blatant violation of international law by Mr. Putin and Russia. It is nothing more than a land grab.
And in Washington, President Obama called for an emergency meeting next week of the so-called G7 economic leaders, the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Britain, to take action against Russia. The group used to be the G8, but Russia is being excluded, and preparations for a G8 summit in Russia in June have been canceled.
13 of the 15 countries on the Security Council of the United Nations voted to condemn the referendum in Crimea as illegitimate. Even China decided it could not support it and abstained, and Russia stood alone, naked in front of the world for the aggression that they had undertaken.
President Obama enacted economic sanctions and travel restrictions on 11 Russian and Ukrainian leaders involved in the annexation. But Putin and the Russians seem monumentally unmoved. Today, the Russian parliament challenged President Obama to extend the sanctions to all 353 deputies who voted to annex Crimea. And Russia's deputy prime minister mocked the president, saying the list of targets was drawn up by, quote, some prankster.
There will be additional costs imposed on Russia if Russia does not change direction here.
Well, the fear is that Russia won't stop with Crimea, that there will be further attempts to annex the entire Ukraine, as well as other former Soviet satellites. Chris and Mary.
Hi, Marcia, thank you.